Here is something most people never realize about ancient medicine. For thousands of years, healers understood a secret that we are only now fully appreciating. It was not enough to simply find the right plant. How you prepared it could mean the difference between a powerful medicine and a useless mush, between a remedy and a poison. The ancients knew this. They soaked, they dried, they fermented, they heated, and sometimes, very deliberately, they refused to heat at all. And modern chemistry has now revealed something remarkable, again and again. Those specific, seemingly strange preparation methods were not superstition. They were, in effect, kitchen chemistry, unlocking compounds, increasing absorption, or removing danger. Long before anyone understood the molecules involved, today, we are looking at 10 ancient herbs, where the preparation was everything, and where modern science has finally explained why the old methods worked. This is educational content, not medical advice. Always talk to a qualified healthcare professional before using any herb, especially if you take medication or have a medical condition. Welcome to the Green Domain, where ancient wisdom meets modern science. Let us begin. Number 1. Turmeric and the black pepper secret. We start with the most famous example of all. For thousands of years across India and Asia, cooks and healers almost never used turmeric alone. They combined it again and again with black pepper and with fats and oils. For most of history, nobody could say why. It was simply how it was done. Then, modern science uncovered the reason, and it was striking. Turmeric's main compound, curcumin, is very poorly absorbed by the human body on its own. Most of it passes straight through, but a compound in black pepper, called piperine, can increase the absorption of curcumin dramatically, and because curcumin dissolves in fat, combining turmeric with oil helps the body take it in. The ancient recipe, turmeric plus pepper plus fat, in a warm dish, was very close to an ideal delivery system. The cooks were doing chemistry without ever knowing it. Number 2. Willow bark and the gentle steep. Willow bark was the ancient world's aspirin, used for pain and fever for thousands of years. But there was a right way to prepare it. Traditional preparation often involved steeping or gently simmering the bark to draw out its active compound, salicin, into a tea or a tonic. The knowledge of how to extract it and how much to use was passed down carefully because too little did nothing, and the raw bark was harsh on the stomach. Modern science has shown that salicin is indeed the pain-relieving compound, the ancestor of aspirin. The ancients could not isolate it in a laboratory, so instead they developed the preparation that pulled it out of the bark and into a form the body could use. Number 3. Aconite and the long, life-saving boil. This one is the most dramatic example on the entire list, because here, preparation was the difference between medicine and death. Aconite is one of the most poisonous plants ever used in medicine, so toxic it was once used to poison arrows. And yet, in traditional Chinese medicine, it was a treasured remedy. How? Through preparation so careful it bordered on ritual. Healers would soak and then boil the root for many hours, sometimes an entire day. They knew, through terrible experience, that this long processing was essential. And modern chemistry explains exactly why. The intense, prolonged heat chemically transforms the most dangerous toxins in aconite into far less toxic compounds. The ancient healers could not see that transformation, but they had learned, across generations, the precise method that turned a deadly poison into a usable medicine. Number 4. Sweet wormwood and the Nobel Prize hidden in the method. This story is so important it won a Nobel Prize, and it is entirely about preparation. Sweet wormwood had been used in traditional Chinese medicine for fevers for around 2,000 years. In the 20th century, a Chinese scientist named Tuku Yu was searching for a malaria treatment, and this herb looked promising, but the results were maddeningly inconsistent. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it did not. The breakthrough came when she found the answer in an ancient text, more than 1,600 years old. The old instructions said to prepare the herb by soaking it in cold water and never to boil it. She realized that high heat was destroying the active compound. By extracting it at a low temperature, she preserved it and isolated the most effective anti-malarial compound in modern medicine. The ancient preparation method, cold, not hot, was the entire secret. It has since saved hundreds of thousands of lives. If you are finding this as fascinating as I do, that the method itself was the medicine, take a moment to subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel, and there is much more of this to come. Now, back to the herbs. Number 5. Nettle and the sting that cooking removes. Stinging nettle is one of the most nutritious wild plants in the world, rich in vitamins and minerals, but it comes with an obvious problem. Touch the raw leaves and they sting, sometimes painfully. For thousands of years, people across many cultures knew the solution. Drying the nettle, or cooking it, or steeping it in hot water completely neutralizes the sting. Modern science explains it simply. The sting comes from compounds held in tiny, needle-like hairs on the leaf. Heat and drying break those structures down, and the sting disappears, while the nutrition remains. A perfect example of a preparation method that transforms an unusable plant into a nourishing food and medicine. Number 6. Elderberry and the danger of eating it raw. Elderberries have been used for centuries for the immune system and for coughs and colds. But there is a crucial rule that traditional preparation always respected. Raw elderberries, along with the leaves, bark, and seeds, contain compounds that can cause nausea and stomach upset. The traditional method was always to cook them, to simmer the berries into syrups, cordials, and preserves. Modern research has shown that cooking breaks down those problematic compounds, making the berries safe to consume. The ancient rule, never eat them raw, always cook them, was not a preference. It was essential safety knowledge, passed down so that the medicine would heal and not harm. Number 7. Garlic and the crush and wait trick. Garlic has been used as a medicine across nearly every ancient culture, prized for the heart, for infections, and for general vitality. And there was a specific preparation detail that traditional cooks understood. Garlic is at its most potent, not when it is whole, but when it is crushed or chopped, and then left to sit for a short time before cooking. Modern science explains this beautifully. Crushing garlic triggers a reaction that forms its key active compound, allicin. But that compound needs a few minutes to fully develop, and high heat too soon can destroy it. So, crushing the garlic and letting it rest before gentle cooking preserves the most medicine. The old habit of crushing garlic and letting it stand was, once again, quiet chemistry. Number 8. Reishi mushroom and the long simmer. The reishi mushroom was one of the most revered tonics in ancient China, reserved for emperors and nobility. But you cannot simply eat a reishi mushroom. It is woody, tough, and impossibly bitter. The traditional preparation was a long, slow simmer, sometimes for hours, often as a decoction, a strong tea boiled down over time. Modern science supports this method. Many of reishi's beneficial compounds, including certain complex sugars, are locked inside tough cell walls and are best released by long, hot water extraction. The ancient method of simmering it for hours was the correct way to unlock what the mushroom had to offer. Number 9. Flax and the necessity of grinding. Flax seeds have been eaten for their health for thousands of years, going back to ancient Egypt and beyond. But there is a simple, essential preparation step. That traditional knowledge understood. Whole flax seeds often pass straight through the body, undigested. Their nutrition, locked inside a hard outer shell. The traditional method was to grind them into meal or flour. Before use, modern nutrition science completely agrees. Ground flax releases its beneficial oils and compounds, while whole seeds largely do not. A humble example, but a perfect one. The preparation, grinding, was what made the medicine actually available to the body. Number 10. The poppy and the ancient art of careful extraction. We end with the most powerful and most cautionary example of all, The opium poppy was among the most important pain-relieving plants of the ancient world, but its power came entirely from how it was prepared. Ancient healers developed careful methods to collect and prepare the milky sap of the poppy. And, crucially, they understood dosing, because the line between relief and danger was terrifyingly thin. Modern medicine eventually isolated morphine from that same sap, one of the most important painkillers ever discovered. But the poppy carries the darkest lesson about preparation and dose. The same substance, prepared and measured one way, relieved unbearable suffering. Prepared or dosed another way, it could kill. The ancient healers respected this more than any other plant, and it is exactly why none of these remedies should ever be attempted at home. So, let us step back. 10 herbs, 10 preparations. Turmeric with pepper and fat. Willow bark, gently steeped. Aconite, boiled for a day, to tame its poison. Sweet wormwood, kept cold to save the cure. Nettle, dried to remove the sting. Elderberry, always cooked. Garlic, crushed and rested. Reishi, simmered for hours. Flax, ground to release it. And the poppy, prepared with the greatest care of all. Here is the deeper lesson. We often imagine that ancient medicine was just about knowing which plant to pick. But the truth is far more sophisticated. The ancient healers were not only botanists, they were, in their own way, chemists. They understood through thousands of years of patient observation that the method was as important as the plant, that heat could destroy or heat could unlock, that cold could preserve, that crushing, grinding, soaking, and waiting each changed what a plant could do. They could not see a single molecule. And yet, their methods were so precise that modern laboratories, with all our instruments, keep arriving at the same conclusions they reached long ago. That is the real wonder of the ancient pharmacy. Not just the plants, but the profound, hard-won intelligence of how to use them. If this changed the way you think about ancient medicine, subscribe to the Green Domain, because we are exploring the greatest healing traditions in human history, one discovery at a time. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 10 surprised you the most. Ancient wisdom, modern proof, real results. I will see you in the next one.